Beloved soul, listen closely. You didn't meet them by accident. You may think it was just a passing moment, but it wasn't. Something divine was set in motion long before you even met, because this person was sent to heal a wound you forgot you had. At first, you didn't see it. You just felt something stir inside you, a strange calm, a warmth you couldn't name, and that feeling was the beginning of your healing. What you're about to understand may change how you see every connection in your life. Stay until the end, because there's something you need to hear, a message meant only for your soul. You see, there are moments when heaven intervenes quietly, when God doesn't send a miracle through thunder or fire, but through a person who feels like peace after years of storms. Someone whose presence unlocks a part of you you buried long ago. They didn't arrive to entertain your loneliness. They came as a bridge between who you've been and who you're becoming. Through them, God whispers, "It's safe to feel again." And even if you try to deny it, your heart already knows the truth. They didn't come to fix you. They came to remind you that you were never broken. Their presence awakens something ancient inside you, a memory of love that existed before pain ever touched your life. You might not even understand why you're drawn to them, why their smile disarms your fear, why their words sound like home. It's because your soul recognizes what your mind has forgotten, that this connection was written in light before you were ever born. Maybe you've been praying for a sign. Maybe you've been asking God, "Why do I feel this way about them?" This is your answer. They were sent to heal what silence and time could not, to hold a mirror to the parts of you that forgot what love feels like. And before we go deeper, beloved one, take a moment to breathe and feel this truth settle inside you, because what's coming next will help you understand why now and why this person. But before that, if these words already speak to your heart, let the angels know in the comments below. Write, "I receive this message, so heaven sees your faith." And if you feel guided, subscribe to this channel to stay connected to more divine messages meant for your path. Your energy keeps this light flowing forward. You can also support this channel through super thanks. Your kindness allows these messages to reach more souls who need healing. Now, listen carefully. When God sends someone to heal a wound you forgot you had, He doesn't choose randomly. He aligns timing, emotion, and divine memory. Everything about your meeting carries intention. The place, the timing, the feeling that caught you off guard. Because heaven knows when your heart is ready to receive what you once resisted. There was a time you promised yourself you'd never open again. A time you decided love was too dangerous, too painful, too temporary, and yet, here they are, gentle, unexpected, familiar. Their presence chips away at the walls you built to survive. You may have noticed it, how you start to smile without forcing it, how laughter finds you again, how silence between you doesn't feel heavy anymore. That's not coincidence. It's divine restoration. Because God doesn't heal every wound through time alone. Some wounds require a person, a soul strong enough to hold light where you forgot yours existed. They were sent not to fill your emptiness, but to remind you that you are already whole. You might ask, but what if they leave? Beloved, even if their season ends, their purpose remains eternal. God never wastes a meeting. Every soul He sends becomes a thread in your healing story. Some stay to build, some stay to awaken, and some just to remind you how love feels before you return to yourself. Don't be afraid of what you feel right now. Don't question why it came this way. The truth is, you were ready, even if you didn't believe it. And God, in His mercy, sent someone who could speak to your heart in the language only your soul understands. That's why their presence feels like peace and fire all at once. That's why being around them feels both terrifying and safe. Because healing often feels like remembering who you were before the pain. And soon, beloved, you'll realize that what's happening between you and this person is not just emotional chemistry. It's divine choreography, a dance heaven has orchestrated since before you were born. But that truth, the full reason why you were chosen to experience this, is what I'll reveal next. Because the next part of this message holds the key to why your soul and theirs were aligned at this moment in your journey. So, before we continue, if you feel this message echoing in your heart, pause for a second, send a silent thank you to heaven. And remember, your energy helps this message reach others who need it. You can support this mission through super thanks or by sharing this video with someone who's forgotten how loved they are. Because you never know, you might be the person God sends to heal their hidden wound next, beloved soul. Now that you know this person was sent for your healing, you must understand something deeper. Why you were chosen for this kind of love. You see, not everyone receives a divine connection like this, because not everyone has carried pain with the kind of quiet grace that you have. You endured seasons that should have broken you. You smiled through heartbreak, forgave without apology, and learned to survive without asking for help. Heaven saw it all, every silent tear you wiped away when no one was watching. And so God decided, it's time you experience love that doesn't hurt, love that doesn't demand pieces of your soul as proof, love that doesn't drain, but restores. That's why this person appeared when they did, not when you begged for them, not when you thought you needed someone, but when your heart quietly said, I'm ready. Divine timing isn't about convenience. It's about readiness. You couldn't have met this person sooner. You would have mistaken them for comfort instead of healing. But now your soul recognizes truth. Now you can receive what you once feared. Their soul was chosen long before they even knew you existed. Chosen to cross your path, to speak words that reach where no sermon or friend could reach. To look at you and see the parts you thought were too scarred to love. And here's the mystery. They also carry wounds. Different, perhaps quieter than yours, but through your connection, they are being healed too. That's how heaven works. When God heals one heart, he blesses two. There's something sacred about what's happening between you. It's not random chemistry, not fleeting emotion. It's the meeting of two souls who made a promise before time began, to help each other remember the light again. You may not remember making that promise, but your soul does. That's why even your doubts can't fully push them away. Why every time you try to distance yourself, something pulls you back. It's not obsession, it's recognition. Your spirits are drawn by divine magnetism, and soon, beloved, you'll see signs confirming this truth. Little moments only your heart can interpret. A song that plays at the right time. A dream that feels more like memory than imagination. Words they speak that echo something you once prayed about. Heaven uses subtle language to confirm divine bonds. When you notice these things, don't rush to label them or force outcomes. Simply whisper, I see you, God. Because acknowledgement is how miracles multiply. But I must tell you something hard too. Healing through divine connection isn't always gentle. Sometimes it stirs up what you thought was gone. This person might touch old pain, not to hurt you, but to bring it to the surface so it can finally leave. That's why you might feel confusion, intensity, or fear. Your soul recognizes safety, but your wounds remember danger. And so there's a war between what's new and what's familiar. When that happens, don't run. Breathe. Remind yourself, God sent this person to heal, not to harm. Even in their imperfections, they serve a higher purpose. Even in moments of distance, they teach you trust. Even in silence, they awaken longing that leads you back to prayer. Every interaction carries divine weight. Nothing is wasted. Not the laughter, not the tears, not even the waiting. Because healing isn't instant. It's layered. And God will use this person to touch every hidden layer of your heart. One moment at a time, one conversation at a time, until you look back and realize the ache is gone, and all that remains is gratitude. Beloved, you are not crazy for feeling something so deep. You are not overreacting or imagining it. You are awakening. And awakening always feels like falling in love with the world again. But before you go further, pause here with me. Take one deep breath. And in your own words, thank heaven for the person who found you. And if you feel this message speaking directly to your soul, comment below, I am ready to heal. Because when you declare it, heaven aligns even faster. Also, if these words have touched your spirit, subscribe to this channel for more angelic messages like this. You are helping to spread divine healing simply by listening. And if you'd like to support this channel and the light we share, you can send a super thanks. Your generosity helps us keep bringing these messages to others who may be praying for the very comfort you just received. Now, beloved, here's what comes next. In the next part, I'll reveal how this person's presence is unlocking your divine calling, how the healing you're receiving is preparing you for the purpose you were born for. Because God never heals you without reason. He restores you so you can become someone else's answered prayer. You'll begin to see how love and purpose are part of the same plan. And once you do, everything in your life will start to make sense. Beloved soul, you've begun to feel lighter, haven't you? A quiet peace has started to replace the old ache. That's not imagination. That's transformation. The moment you met this person, something inside you began to rise again. Because when God sends healing through another soul, it's not only to comfort you, it's to activate you. This connection is awakening a purpose you had buried beneath pain. You were not only meant to be healed, you were meant to become a vessel of healing yourself. This person's presence has unlocked something ancient in you. A calling you've always carried but never trusted enough to follow. Every moment you spend near them, you feel your spirit remembering who it truly is. That's not romance, beloved. That's resurrection. They were chosen to mirror your light back to you, to show you what love can look like when it's touched by heaven's hand instead of human fear. And now that your heart has begun to open again, you'll start noticing subtle changes within yourself. You'll speak softer. You'll forgive faster. You'll love without calculation. Because when God heals a wound, He also restores your original heart, the one you had before life made you guarded. You might not realize it yet, but your energy has shifted. People will start responding differently to you. Opportunities will begin to find you, because light always attracts alignment. That's part of your awakening. But let me tell you something sacred. This person was not sent only to bring peace. They were sent to prepare you, to remind you of your worth so that when God opens the next door, you'll walk through it without fear. There's something powerful waiting for you, a divine assignment tied to the healing you're experiencing right now. And soon you'll understand that your pain was not wasted. Every lonely night, every broken prayer, it was shaping the compassion you'll need for what comes next. But before we go deeper, pause and listen carefully, because heaven is whispering right now. Can you feel it? That warmth in your chest, that stillness in your mind. That's not random peace. That's divine confirmation. You are being reminded that love and purpose are never separate. This person's love is teaching you what it means to serve without fear, to give without losing yourself, to trust without conditions. Through them, you're learning the sacred art of divine relationship, a reflection of how God loves you, patiently, endlessly, without demand. So, beloved, don't cling to this person in fear of losing them. Instead, thank God for allowing your souls to meet. Because even if their season shifts, the awakening they sparked within you will stay forever. The truth is, their soul volunteered for this. Before either of you were born, you agreed to find each other when your hearts were ready. You made a spiritual pact. I will help you remember who you are. And now, that promise is being fulfilled. Some days you'll feel overwhelming gratitude. Other days, you'll feel confusion, as if God gave you something precious but fragile. That's normal, beloved. Healing always tests your faith before it rewards your trust. When those moments come, return to prayer. Ask heaven to remind you why this person was sent. And remember, divine connections aren't about possession. They're about purpose. They don't belong to you. They belong with you, for however long the journey requires. Now listen closely, because what comes next is important. Your healing isn't only for you. The person who found you has become the vessel of your restoration. But soon, God will send you to do the same for others. That's how divine love multiplies, one healed heart awakening another. Before you continue, take a moment to show gratitude. If this message has touched your soul, write in the comments below. Thank you, God, for my healing. Your words are seen not only by heaven, but by others who may find hope through you. And if you feel guided to keep this light shining, subscribe to this channel so more souls can receive these angelic messages. Every listener becomes part of the ripple of healing. You can also support this mission by sending a super thanks. Your kindness allows us to share these divine truths with hearts around the world who are still waiting to remember their worth. Now, stay close, beloved, because in the next part, you'll learn the truth about why God waited until now to send this person. The reason your prayers seemed delayed. The reason nothing worked before this connection appeared. It's not rejection, it's divine strategy. And once you understand that timing, you'll never question another delay again.